The airport is crowded with people, the sounds of laughter and happiness are heard, but there's a trace of anxiety and restlessness in Sarah's eyes. She is holding Ethan's hand and keeps glancing toward the door, waiting for someone. Sarah. Whispering, a mix of fear and love. He will be here in just a few moments, darling, everything will be fine. Ethan is holding a welcome sign in his hand, but his face is full of tension and worry. He looks around restlessly, as if a sad thought is passing through his mind. Ethan. Gently, his voice faint. Mom, will everything be like it was before? Like how Dad used to be? Sarah. Looking at him with sad eyes, encouraging him. Everything will be fine, son. You'll see, your dad will be back in your life, and everything will be like before. Ethan looks at her with doubt and fear in his eyes, but remains silent. Suddenly, a line of soldiers appear. Among them is Captain David Walker, Sarah's husband. David. Smiling, opening his arms. I'm seeing my family. I've been so far from you both. For a brief moment, a smile flickers in Sarah's eyes, but it quickly fades, hiding something unsaid. Ethan. Gently, trembling. Dad. I need to tell you something. David becomes serious, his gaze now fixed on Ethan. Sarah's eyes, for a moment, show fear and disgust, as if she knows that Ethan's secret could be extremely serious for their family. Ethan. Fearfully. Dad. I found another dad. A long silence falls over the room. Sarah's face twitches in shock, and tears begin to fall from her eyes. David's eyes are filled with anger and sorrow, as if he's trying to digest a truth he cannot accept. David. Softly, with bitterness. What did you say? Ethan. With tears. It's James, Dad. He was there for us when you weren't. When we were alone, he took care of us. He helped Mom. David's eyes drop, shocked. Sarah steps toward him, her emotions in turmoil again. David. Angrily, voice raised slightly. James? You went that far with my best friend? Sarah trembles, turning toward David, tears falling from her eyes. Sarah. Softly, with sadness in her eyes. David, he never tried to replace you. He was just there when we missed you the most. David. Shaking his head in anger and pain. He was my friend, part of my life, Sarah. How did you turn my weakness into your strength? How could you lean on James after I left? Sarah trembles as she steps forward, standing in front of him, but she still can't look David in the eye. Sarah. Trembling, with a loving voice. When I needed you the most, you weren't there. James was, but he could never be like you. David's heart fills with sorrow, and he steps forward, looking into Ethan's eyes. David. Softly, taking a deep breath. I know, Ethan. I know how painful those moments were. I never meant to hurt you. But when I wasn't with you, the world became so much harder. And I know how much pain I caused you. Ethan's eyes are filled with tears, and he tries to speak, as if he wants to say something, but the words don't come out. Ethan. With a soft voice, from the depths of his heart. Dad, are you really back? Will you never leave me again? David stops in his tracks, then slowly sits next to Ethan, placing his hand on his son's shoulder. David. With a loving voice, his face softens. I promise, Ethan. I will never leave you. From now on, we are together, just like we were before. Ethan hugs him, as if he finds peace in that promise. David holds him tightly, and for a moment, everything becomes silent between them, only their heartbeats and their presence filling the space. Ethan. Softly, hugging him. Dad, I missed you so much, will you never leave again? David smiles, gently running his hand through Ethan's hair. No, Ethan, never. We are together, forever. Ethan finds peace in his eyes, and he buries himself deeper into David's chest, as if he has gotten back everything he ever wanted. David's heart fills with peace, and he stays lost in the moment with his son, as if all the problems of the world have faded away in this moment of happiness.